Hello. Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. I thought I'd go live for just a few minutes, just so the people that weren't able to watch it in a watch party can have a bit of a discussion. So, did everybody watch it? So, I missed the first couple minutes. I guess Rosie was in the first couple minutes. It's coming back on at 10 o'clock, my time, and I'm going to see if I can catch it. And then yeah, I just got it on my TV. And then she had a small couple of sentences where she just explained what Death Fifi is. And under her tagline, it was feederism expert and content creator. And then it gave her like Quirky Love Rosie. It didn't say ex-feederism model or ex-feederist or anything like that. So I thought that was weird. So it said Fifi expert and content creator. Now, can someone tell me how long she was in that community and doing that? I thought it was like 24 months. Or I'm sorry, I thought it was like 9 months. The 9 months when she was broken up with her boyfriend. But it must have been longer. Welcome in, everybody. Sorry, I should say hi. Hi, Crazy Cat Steph and Cassandra Cat and JP DB and Dinky and My 5Js and Zing and Tiff and Rage Piggy and Pause. Oh my God. We have to talk about that. Pause. Jennifer. Yeah, less than 2 minutes total screen time. Miss Saber. Shava. Fallen Angel. LaFay. Most of you guys there. Yes. And then she had a part later on in part 3 where she talked about Zio and told about how Zio was at the house and then Zio got sick and her hospital stay. And then when she came back, when she was in the hospital and came out of her coma, all what she did was mukbangs on TikTok. And I'm like, bitch, if people go to your YouTube channel, what are they going to see? They're going to see you eating. That's what they're going to see. They definitely cut her. Yeah. So what people are saying, where is it? So there was a allegation that he put and 2 people confirmed it, that he put a tampon with spermicide non-consensually up someone and then like squished it in type of thing. Now, just thinking, when did it come out the back end? If it's liquid, I have never put spermicide inside of a tampon and tried to squish it. But I know a tampon is because it's like, cotton. But if it was liquid, would it squirt out the other end? I don't know. She had hours of interview time. Hi, Muck. Yeah, she told the community that she poured her heart out telling her story, and there was nothing about her. I want to show you guys her Instagrams from today. You've probably already seen them. I'm going to just show the first one. I'm going to show her response because you guys probably haven't seen that one. God, why do I have captions in the middle of my screen? Okay, let me just share it. There it is.
I have a lot of thoughts just about the documentary, the stories that were shared. It's kind of crazy seeing like Stefan directly say something on camera for the documentary that 100% contradicts something he said to my.
Well, does anybody know what she's talking about here? something that Stefan said to her face, but it contradict in the documentary. Why does she care? Like, she's kind of making it about her. Like, Stefan lied to me. Well, girl, he did a lot worse to a lot of other people. Like, he lied to you last week. Ooh. Come on now.
Face last week. That was crazy. I first just want to say, like, I don't want to like go too in depth about anything because I want you guys to watch it. I think everyone should watch it and form their own opinions. I wasn't super surprised by how much I was in the documentary because of what I was told. I guess I had hoped they would.
By what you were told, like, you thought you had a major part. Remember, you've been in this for 2 years, girl. You started at the beginning of the documentary. You were like the first on the project, and they gave you what, under 2 minutes? What are you talking about?
Provide a little more context to some things that just ended up not going with the flow of the story.
Sorry. Yeah, of course they have she's going to get new people to her Instagram and new people to her YouTube. And this position is really a choice. It really is. Yeah.
Story. I'm going to hold off because there's like a lot of stuff I want to say. But I really appreciate that the stories of these victims were heard. And, you know, someone who was watching all this stuff go down in 2021 and on.
So now she was watching all this stuff go down. I have never heard her say that. I have never heard her say, like, in 2021, she was watching all the stuff go down in Paradise House. I'm sorry. In 2021, she was asking to be on their Discord. In 2021 or 2020 or whatever, she was asking to come to the house. So why is she acting like she saw it? You know, this is
word. It's just, I'm just glad that this entire story is being talked about on a mainstream front. I hope all of you watch the documentary. I think it was very well made. I do have critiques, especially on how certain things were handled. Again, nothing has to do with me, right? But like everything to do with just like, you know, with like.
Yeah, she was rejected. Like, she never, now she was like watching it all go down. She's just a pathological liar. Like, she really is.
The people who have passed and everything. I have some thoughts about that, but I want to hold off. And I also think like everyone else involved should have their time to share their thoughts and react.
Okay, but everyone else, girl, this was 55 minutes ago. It was less than half an hour after the documentary stopped. You wasted 0 time. What was I going to say? Like, even Tess Holliday got more screen time than Rosie did. I wonder if Tess was interviewed at the same time as Rosie.
And everything. This has just been an insane couple of weeks. And I was so anxious and I was so just overwhelmed by the unknown. Now I'm just sitting here.
Sorry, I need to read this comment. Yeah, why did she frame Zio's experience and never told her? Like, Zio was interviewed for the documentary, right? Like, I know that Zio was featured very heavily in episode 3, but she was not on any of the trailers, yet Rosie is. And Rosie's framing Zio's experience, very bizarre. Why is Rosie talking about Zio behind her back?
You're kind of like, oh,
like they're not friends or anything.
Freaking out so much. I don't even know. There's so much I want to talk about and say because, like, yeah. But I am.
The doctor, any of those people actually could have said Rosie's 2 lines that she said. Do you know what I mean? And being called a Fifi expert, Lord. Not even an ex-Fifi, but like a Fifi expert. How long was she? It's annoying.
I hope you guys still watch it. It's a really important story. Well, I just finished watching a docuseries.
Okay. Then I have, let me not show my screen just in case. Hold on. And then we have, you guys want to watch the bathroom one? Okay. Oh, pause. Okay, here we go. Trigger warning for anybody that needs it. Hi, Sink. Is Sink in here? I missed a whole bunch of people. Hi, Shava. Okay.
Sexual assault and exploitation in my past. And just because you may not understand why I'm in the dock does not mean that I don't have a right to be there.
Girl, now looking back, was this necessary? Could this have waited till after the documentary dropped? Because the only thing in the documentary was what you gave a definition and you talked about Zio. That was it. I think this could have waited till after you saw the documentary.
I'm doing the best that I can from everything that's happened in the past couple weeks to not make problems for anybody else. I just wish someone gave a singular fuck about the fact that I'm a person with trauma.
Yeah, she dragged Zio and I think she was trying to make up for it. And the whole thing about the mukbangs, girl. Now this Instagram was a choice. She's in her bathroom on the toilet, and there are some tears coming down a little once in a while when she squeezes her eyes real hard. She's wondering why no one gives a single solitary fuck about her. Okay.
Trauma too. And that trauma is real. The past several days, I have gone out of my way to shut the fuck up. Because it doesn't matter what I do. I am being relentlessly attacked. I just saw a comment on a video.
God. Relentlessly attacked. Then why are you on social media? You know, like before you got called out for lying and making up stories and twisting facts and being a villain, like being really awful to other people. Like you were called out in other communities. You were called out in 2015. You were called out in 2016. I think you were called out in 2013. You were called out in 2019. You were called out in 2023. Like, could you take a hint that maybe it's you? Like, you've been called out at least 3 or 4 times with the same type of stuff, being called out, being criticized, and then coming along with that is always going to be people, just making fun of you, period. But a lot of it is being called out and criticized. And you call that bullying and harassing, which really grinds my gears. So I think maybe it's time for you to learn that maybe social media isn't for you because you lie, you take advantage of people, you twist facts, and people are going to realize that you are doing these things and they're going to call you out. So quit trying to get sympathy. This has happened 3 or 4 times. You have had your own Reddit since 2015, way before Girl World.
video that had nothing to do with me, that was about me and how I'm making everything about me when I wasn't even in the video. Girl World is using this opportunity to make me out to look like a fucking monster.
So 2023, it was the fat acceptance community that were gang stalkers and harassers and bullies. And 2015, it was r/fat people hate that were monsters and bullies and harassers and stalkers. And so 2026, now it's Girl World. We're the bullies, the harassers, the stalkers, with the whatevers. Do you guys see a pattern?
While creating the problem. And I just did not anticipate certain parts of this. I'm not talking about the live stream stuff and all of that. I've said what I've said on that.
Not much late stuff. Okay, we're just going over some of her Instagrams and just kind of generalized talking. I can't show any clips from the documentary, of course. I'll get the big bang, the bing, the zing. But we're just kind of talking amongst ourselves and watching her Instagrams.
And I'm culpable in that aspect. I'm talking specifically about how people keep saying actual victims.
But people are talking about the documentary, Rosie. They're talking about actual victims of Stefan. Were you an actual victim of Stefan? Nope. Were you in the Paradise House? Nope. Were you a victim of him, like online harassing people? Nope. You weren't remotely a victim of him at all. Remotely. Not even like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon remotely. That's what people are talking about. They want the documentary is about Paradise House and Stefan and the ladies. And you're not involved. So why are you crying?
Watching people twist some of my most personal trauma into how I'm a liar. Like, I think the big one I saw was when I was in those streams and I was being just barraged with hate.
So I did see someone, I didn't see barrage hate. I did see someone talk about the chocolate cake, and that I think that's what she's alluding to. Listen, a couple of my lives ago, we talked about an Instagram where she was so proud of that. She also has Reddit posts where she was proud of the cake incident, the chocolate cake incident, if you may, that she hoped that she was the hottest person on that film, and she hoped that they spanked it hard to her. Okay? That was her trauma, that they spanked it hard to her because she was hot. Okay.
People were saying that I lied about, like, I said that I was basically raped over the internet, like, that all this stuff, when they took a real traumatic experience out of context.
You talked about that red web grape yourself on the We're All Insane podcast. So we took your words from what you said. Okay? Like, we don't know what's in your brain. We weren't there. We could only take your words. And here you are twisting everything again. You're twisting everything again.
In the We're All Insane podcast interview, I shared the
See, exactly.
story about what I believe was the first attack of my cyber stalker of sexual assault.
So she has zero proof that it was her cyber stalker. Like, she doesn't know who this person is. I think a lot of things happened to her, and I don't think it was all the same person. I really don't. I think she got some hate on r/fat people Reddit. I think some people, like, I don't believe anything.
Same podcast interview, I shared the
Okay, here's the second half.
Story about what I believe was the first attack of my cyber stalker. How he blackmailed me, used the fact.
So let me get this straight. So this guy found her corn pictures that she put on Reddit, on different sites, on Instagram, on Not Safe for Work Twitter. She posted those pictures herself. They weren't RP, they weren't anything like that. They were her pictures. She took them herself and she uploaded them to the internet herself for free. They were not behind a paywall. They were on Not Safe for Work Twitter. They were on Reddit. Somebody saw them and said, hey, I think I'm going to tell your parents. And she calls that blackmail. Can you be blackmailed with stuff you uploaded yourself? Like, it's not RP because, like, it was on public internet. It wasn't even behind a paywall. I don't know.
Fact that I was, an ex-Mormon, afraid of my parents finding out that I was posting illicit.
And how the hell is a complete stranger that doesn't know Rosie know that she's an ex-Mormon, that she's afraid of her parents finding out she's posting pictures? I don't get it. Like, I understand that there's blackmail that goes on between private messages, and they threaten to post it to the internet or post it to all your friends and family. I think that's a different situation than public corn that you've uploaded yourself. And how does this person know that they're ex-Mo?
Photos online at the time because my parents and I hadn't had a lot of conversations, and I genuinely was afraid they would disown me. And he collected my family's information, and he coerced me into doing something I've never even told a therapist about. And that is just one of the things he did during an...
Right. This happened while she was on Chatterbait with a client. And he had paid her for something, because I think on Chatterbait you have to pay. And then maybe, did he bring up the pictures? I don't know. She doesn't explain it much. But I know that, yeah, she was on Chatterbait with a client.
An 8-year period. That story is real. I've never fucking lied about that or any of my fucking trauma. And I'm reaching to a point.
Like, I just don't get it. If she was on Chatterbait, could she just, like, logged off? Could she have just ended the session? I don't get it. I have not been in this situation. I cannot relate to what Rosie is talking about. Like, I really don't understand what the fuck she's talking about at all.
I'm not engaging in reaction content about me. I'm doing my best to avoid it, but I'm getting so much in my DMs and in my own comments. People who put my cousin's names in my comments, who, by the way, is the man currently serving 30 years in federal prison for his shit with CSAM.
Yes, he did get convicted of CSAM, like 20 years or 15 years after or more. He was much, much, much older. Like, it wasn't CSAM of Rosie's, what I'm trying to say. Like, this was, I'm time to go to bed. It was, sorry, it was much, much later. Like, she sometimes she alludes that it was her, and I just want to make it clear that it wasn't pictures of her. Like, it was other pictures, but sometimes she alludes that it was pictures of her, but it wasn't.
Look, I get that I'm controversial and that I've recently fucked up. I'm just a person, man. This is real. This is real. I'm not lying. And I'm trying to do everything I can to not make things worse. But it's like I'm constantly caught between this push and pull of, like, wanting to speak out and defend myself, and wanting to fight to not cause more problems. All I know is I'm really anxious about tonight because just because Stefan isn't the one that hurt me doesn't mean I wasn't hurt. Just because that isn't part of my story doesn't.
Sorry, I'm muted. I'm just saying that the documentary wasn't about Rosie. I think Rosie wanted her own documentary about all her life traumas, about all the things that she's been through, and that, yes, the documentary is about Stephen and the girls, right? I'm trying to find the minute clip, and I'm gonna see if I can play it in the background and see if I get dinged. But I have a kitty here who is annoying me. He's sitting on my laptop. Wants to be petted. I'll pet you after. Okay, I'll let you guys play. Give me a sec.
Doesn't mean that I had something to add. Well, I don't know, man. Same podcast interview, I shared the story about what I believe was the first attack of my cyber stalker. How he blackmailed me, used the fact that I was, an ex-Mormon, afraid of my parents finding out that I was posting illicit photos online at the time because my parents and I hadn't.
Okay, so yeah. Let me just stop sharing. I'm just trying to. I thought she was in the first minute, so I'm just listening in the background. I'm just watching some TV.
He's easing you into his fetish.
Can you guys hear that?
It's dangerous. You need to be careful. Like, it can kill you. He's selling a fantasy.
Oh, here it is.
You'll be loved here. You'll be worshipped like a god.
So it starts with Rosie's face, like big jump scare. I had it clipped, but I don't know where it is. And then it says, okay, and then Rosie says, he's selling a fantasy. Okay, so I'm just watching some TV in the background. So talk amongst yourselves.
Careful. Like, it can
Okay,
kill
that's
you.
not Rosie.
He's selling a fantasy.
This is Rosie.
You'll be loved here. You'll be worshipped like a goddess. But they don't tell you the price that you pay.
Okay, that's it. That's in the first minute, and then she talks about feederism. And that's the tagline. And then she describes what Fifi is and Death Fifi. We're not there yet. I gotta wait a couple hours because it's live TV right now. But and then she talks about Zio. So people were wondering earlier what she was saying about Zio. So she was pretty much saying that Zio was posting from the Paradise House, and then she got sick, went into the hospital, had a coma, came out of the coma, and then she was doing mukbangs from her hospital. But she said it really disparaging. Like, can you believe it? She got out of this coma and then was doing mukbangs. Yeah, she talked shit on Zio doing mukbangs. Well, meanwhile, what Rosie does is considered a mukbang. Like someone said, Zach Chow, like he makes his own. I hope I said that right. Makes his own food. Like she thinks that a mukbang is only fast food. The nerve. Yes. Yeah, this is a just an educational YouTube. It's educational. I'm teaching things. I really like the guy. Like he seemed knowledgeable. Like he was talking a lot about how like low self-esteem and never having the feeling of being desired growing up, especially during like the teen and early 20s, where it's kind of formative, where it kind of, he didn't say this, but I'm going to say this because I'm educational YouTube, where it's kind of formative of like in your, when you first, like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, your early teens and your mid teens, you're kind of forming what it's like to have a relationship. Do you know what I mean? Like that's your first time where you realize that there's an opposite sex or same sex or someone that you're attracted to that could be possibly attracted to you. And you're kind of forming your identity in those relationships. And so if you're having a really hard time in your teens, especially like middle school, high school, that type of stuff, where you are ostracized and bullied, I could it could have a real impact on how you form future relationships, like in your 20s and 30s. It has big impact on your self-esteem. You know what I mean? You guys are learning. I'm just reading. I was yapping. I don't know if you can replay it into Discord. Yeah. And then, so, okay, so that was the Zeo thing. And the doctor was talking about just like how, the low self esteem. So I have questions. So a lot of the girls did feederism. Fifi, I'm going to get dinged for this. Okay, you want me to hold your hand? Okay. Did Fifi content in the house. Did Stefan pressure them to do it? He did, because he was holding the camera and stuff. Like he wanted them to make that content. Like I had to bump in and out, so I didn't get to see it all. What are we talking about? Yeah, we're all in the same podcast. And Rosie brought snacks to the ER. Do you guys remember that? I tried to see if Zeo went live or Paradise went live. Nobody has gone live since, except for Rosie and Rosie's Instagram. I think Paradise might be going live in a little bit. Zeo, the last Instagram or the last TikTok, she was just crying. I think the ending was very upsetting. They did a little tribute to Shay, very little, like small amount. Oh, and he took a cut of the money. Nice. So Stefan tried to be very, like in those interviews, he knew what to say. He knew the correct answers. He was trying to be very, like, what proof is there? Oh my God, I love you, Floof. There's no proof. My cat's just looking up at me with the most loving face. Like he kept on saying, there's no proof. There's no proof. My God, he had cameras everywhere. There's proof. And then when he went off of air and they were kind of filming him from the side, kind of like the staircase-esque, catching the serial killer in the bathroom on a hot mic. Although I think that Stefan knew that they were still filming. I think he's just got narcissistic tendencies. Like you guys, have you guys ever watched The Staircase? Like that was a really hot mic moment. I don't know if this was, but then he started saying they're just bitter bitches and the whores, and that's when his true personality came out. Do you think it was hot mic? Do you think he knew? Okay, Liffey. Oh, it is? Ruthie says sex work is only legal in one county in Nevada. The Jinx. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not The Staircase. I'm sorry. The Jinx. The Jinx was hot mic. Thank you. It was two old guys. They all kind of look the same. Yes, Rage Piggy, you are right. Lefay, are you friends with me on Discord? I'll look for you in just a second. Nope, the mask totally slipped at the end. And not a good person. The staircase is a good one. I don't think he killed her. I don't. But the jinx was really good. Like, I thought, like, I'm still, like, I think a lot of the time it was kind of like, I don't know, kind of like a sexy time house, like a fuck party house, right? And I think a lot of them were touchy, feely with each other, and they had like parties and bashes and lots of sexy time and stuff. But that does not mean that SA did not occur. I believe that he absolutely SA'd quite a few people. Do you know what I mean? Like, even though it was a touchy house and they all came for the parties and stuff like that, doesn't mean that he wasn't a predator. Rory actions. God, I'm gonna get binged. Okay. Oh, Kay says, to me, the doc wasn't really meant to be at feederism or even Stefan. I think it was meant to show that there are no safe spaces for BBW women. I agree with that too. Kind of like they thought it was a nice, safe place, but they're always going to be preyed upon, or they're always going to be used for their body in some sense. They're always going to be used for, like, they're a commodity because they're kind of like different. Do you know what I mean? And people have fetishes about them. Agree, Pat Way. Like, I changed my opinion on a lot of things I said the last time, which is good. I'm learning, right? Like, he did a lot worse. And I think, like, he did a lot of things that were definitely SA. And not all the time, even if it is a touchy house, it doesn't mean that it's okay to be touchy all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you don't want it, you don't consent to it. Do you know what I mean? And if you say no, you say no. You know what I mean? Like, it could be a very loving house, but if you're not in the mood for it, you don't want it. You don't want a specific person to touch you, specifically Stefan, because he made the comment like, "Oh, all the girls are touching each other." Well, maybe they're fine with the girls touching each other, but they don't want Stefan to touch them. So then back off, Stefan. Exactly. At the BBW bashes, they didn't really care about consent, and it was a new concept to them. That's Pat Ray's. And they're low self-esteem. So some of the comments, like, you guys will watch it. Like, I was all over in my head because some of the comments were like, I forgot who it was, but one of them said, you know, I could have said no and it would have been fine and I would have been okay to leave. Like, it would have been fine if I left. Like, if I didn't want to be there, I could have gone home. But then you get into the whole psychological thing, like, they weren't like locked in a room, stuck there, passports taken, driver's license taken. But then you get into the whole psychological coercion. Like, this may be the only time that they found friends that they felt were accepted. They thought a man accepted them. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much to it. There's so much to it. Yeah, exactly. Took advantage of the fact that many of these girls came from traumatic situations. A lot of vulnerable individuals freeze up when they are SA. Absolutely, absolutely. I see what I get it, LaFay. And that's what I did when I was watching this. Like, I'm like I told you guys, I'm Gen X, and I didn't realize that so many of my experiences. I mean, we don't want to go into them very deep, but I just want to say that a lot of my experiences could be criminal, not like towards me. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of them, because I just didn't know that that wasn't okay. So yeah, fawn or fright. Yes, predators do seek out the vulnerable. Okay, you guys keep talking for a second. Let me remove that comment. I want to show you this one article. Um don't leave. Okay, I can't find it. I'll have to find it for you. But it pretty much said that it's not you. Like they can sniff it out. Do you know what I mean? If you're vulnerable, they can just sense it. No matter what, right? Like it's just impossible. Hi Frosty, welcome in. Yeah, Bella, I had no idea. No idea. Like it's just it's crazy. It really is crazy. Like and so I look at this documentary through a different lens. Like everyone, I think, depending on their experiences in life, will look through this documentary through a different lens. I think there's some like very strong things that we can all agree on. I was so disgusted with the spermicide and the tampon thing. The cameras. Why are there so many cameras? Oh, Elizu, yes. um I had a situation with half of a national um hockey league team in a hot tub. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And the next morning I'm like, "Well, that was stupid." And but looking back, like it's like, "Whoa. It is not good at all." Yeah. Well, yeah, the victims were always blamed when they drank too much or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was you don't realize it till you look back. But then I guess if you look at it like would I want my daughter to go through that situation? Hell no. So, um yeah, the cameras I had an issue with. And a lot of the stuff that Stefan said as proof for something, I was like, okay, like it was like he needed to actually like his proof was not proof. Like it was kind of like a he said she said, right? Like their stories were vastly different. So I always think about what would happen if you go to a court of law and you have to find someone guilty or innocent beyond a reasonable doubt, right? And I'm like, I don't know if he would be found guilty in a court of law, but in the court of public opinion, he's a fucking liar. He's a fucking liar and he's a fucking SAer, is in my mind. But legally, I don't know. But that's how I was kind of looking at some things. He discounted the cameras, which made it worse. What do you mean? Um, oh, hi, Andrea. Yeah, like when Piggy got involved, like the documentary Oh, the documentary is interesting because they kind of villainized Piggy at first, but then they kind of interspersed some more stories that were like, shit, maybe Piggy's right. You know what I mean? Like they at first they really kind of villainized her, and then at the end, like it was a roundabout. I thought that was interesting way of putting that together. Um, and the woman that got pregnant, she was pregnant before the essay, right? Like the pregnancy didn't come out of the essay. I'll age restrict this stream as well, of course. Right. The exactly, Pat Ray, I'll put this up. So it would explain why Stefan is making it sound like the allegations were all coordinated by Piggy, but the truth is people had told their own stories on their own beforehand. Exactly. And the thing is that Stefan thinks that, it wasn't SA because, they had done it before. Listen, it could be your husband, it could be your boyfriend, it can happen to with someone and you could like it's context to the time and place. If you don't want it then and there and it happens, that's SA. You did not consent. That is not consent. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how Roz got onto Zio's story. Like, how mad is Roz going to be when none of Roz's story was mentioned, but she was the mouthpiece for Zio's story? How did that happen? Yeah, exactly, Fairy Penguin. Kay, it is one. But listen, I'm cutting down, okay? But like I'm stressed. But I'm cutting down every day before my surgery because I have to quit before my surgery. That's what the anesthesiologist told me. Well, actually, they said quit way before your surgery, but I'm trying. I know we are too old. I need to get some nicotine gum or something. My 5Js, if we don't look at our own unhealthy brokenness that leads us and keeps us in situations and patterns as adults, we will keep repeating them. As adults, we're not responsible. Oh, sorry. As adults, we are responsible for our own healing. Yeah, coercion is an insidious thing. I know, Andrea. They had her Fifi expert. Could you imagine? I'd die. I wonder if she had a say in what her tagline title was. Yeah, predators don't announce their intentions. They work people into the positions they want, and then the mask falls. And especially because a lot of these women were very young compared to Stefan, didn't have the means that Stefan had. Like Stefan definitely had power over them, being as rich as he was, being in a really rich house as he was, having a lot of people on content. All that is a power imbalance. He was much older, much more educated, richer, and male. I'm sorry to say that. Over these young women. Yeah, and the way that they put Fifi expert and content creator sounds like she's a Fifi Fifi content creator. And she does do that on YouTube. Like we cannot deny that, right? Like I think Rosie's the only person that denies that she does that kind of content. I know, Stephanie. I hate it. But I'm trying. I get real angry when I don't have them. So, well, listen, like, it's a vice. I shouldn't be nagging at Rosie for eating 46 hot dogs when I'm sitting there smoking on some nicotine, right? But whatever. Okay. Pat Ray. But I think that her original Instagrams that she did earlier, like, girl, delete those. Cuz after the content, the documentary is out, like, she realized that she had zero part in it pretty much. 46 hot dogs is gross. And what else? Okay, I'm just gonna see if she's posted anything more on Instagram real quick. What's it called? Oh, it's called Instagram. Okay. What did you guys think of the documentary? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you think it could have been better? Nothing new. It was 3 parts, yeah. Like, all 3 parts were tonight. Zio is live on panel. Is she talking about anything? Yeah. Rod's actually moldy hot dog water. So, yeah, it's summer coming. I'm going to have surgery. I'm not going to be able to, well, I can't lie. I don't buy them at the store. I get them really cheap from somebody, from my dealer, my cigarette dealer. But it's summer. I'm going to go outside in the fresh air and I'm going to try. Yeah, with all 3, no spotlights. So I think it was like under 2 minutes for the whole thing, or under 5 minutes for sure, and nothing about herself. So she defined Death Fifi. She talked about Zio, and she said, "Nobody tells you the price you will pay." That was it. That was it. That was all we did. That's all we got. They told Zio it was going to be positive. Well, maybe it was just Rosie that was not positive. You know what? But I did like the ending. I did like the ending where the ladies, why am I saying girls? Maybe it's because I'm fucking old. The ladies were sitting around and they're just saying, you deserve to be loved for who you are. You don't need to, you deserve to be happy. You deserve all the things. You're a human being. You deserve what you want without having to sell yourself, or unless you want to, or without having to compromise yourself, or put in situations that you don't want to be in. you know you're a human being and you don't need to do that. Oh, they thought it was going to be about body positivity until the trailer come out. Oh god, they had barely anything on body positivity. You know what I mean? Like a little bit here and a little bit there. It was mostly like Stefan being really body positive about them, like in a creepy way, not in a good way, like in a really creepy, weird way. It was embarrassing for Rosie, to be honest. I agree, Fairy Penguin. Yeah, Eliza, I get it. Yeah. For someone that's not familiar with feederism, the documentary might be more interesting. Yeah. What are you yiking about, Pat? Yeah, she really is. I hope Zio not rages, calls out Rosie for what Rosie does on her channel as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, bitch, you're gonna talk about me eating in the hospital when what you do every day. You know what I mean? Zio seems upset. Do you guys want to? Can we snipe TikTok? Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It wasn't very positive, but it showed their humanity. Rosie, of course, is going to write a poem. She's going to write like 6. You want? Okay, let me try. I'm just going to see if I can get TikTok. I'm on my laptop and I haven't ever sniped a TikTok. I don't know if I want to see you guys. Girl, I get it. Okay, hold on, guys. I wonder if I need to be logged in. I think I have to be logged in, right? Okay, give me a second, guys. Talk amongst yourselves. I gotta log in to my super secret account.
Mini cut. So basically, I'm just going to do an aggressive cut. It's only
Okay, she's live. Okay, we got it. Can you guys see it? Yeah, you have to be when I snipe. Oh, it's not on. Okay, no, you can't see it. So I'll try to pause it a little bit. We'll just watch for a little bit. I think Stefan is on it.
So much stuff. Okay, let's see.
someone said Auburn speaks in 3 times speed. That's true.
And that's good because she gets a lot of information in, you know, it's actually good.
Okay, you can go ahead and read them out, Stefan, yourself.
So,
Okay, there's something about some DMs or text messages. So let's listen.
start this off.
You guys hear okay?
Some naughty stuff, and then she says, "I know you need a CJ." I have to clarify, CJ is a blowjob, basically. Like we called it a CJ. That was our funny term for it because her name is Cece, and that was a CC job. So,
okay.
So whenever in this text thread you're gonna see the letters CJ, that's gonna be a
okay.
So I meet out at her. She says, "Stefan." And I say, CC, yes, I, yes or no, maybe, I can stay the night, should be okay. So she's basically.
Okay, so this is him talking to Cece, asking if he can get a CJ, which is actually a BJ. And I think this is the one that became the mother of his twins.
Guys, I'm gonna disconnect everyone.
Please tell me you didn't see my Facebook post or something about Facebook happened, and I'm good.
Yeah, local bus went. Wait, is Zio watching Local Bus?
I recorded it, not delete anything, just to make this absolutely clear for the viewers. Like, this is original and.
Okay, so this is Inception. We're watching, I think, Stefan on, I think, Local Bus, or maybe on his own TikTok, and Zio's watching him, and we're watching Zio. Okay, big time Inception. 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Here we go.
Still to this post up, and she's basically asking me nothing to do with the story, really, right? So, and I basically tell her, wow, why all the hate? So she's been getting hate or whatever. This is all like bullshit. Like, somebody told her sister to off herself. Okay, now here we come, June 17th. She asked me, hey, will you be able to pick me up today? I'm planning on getting off at 6 o'clock from work so I could come and disinfect your house. She wanted to run a party at my house, so she wants to come over and prepare my house for a party. I said, yeah, I don't think you need to disinfect much. It's pretty clean. Still, it's better to be safe than sorry. Yes, yeah. Thank you.
I don't think you need to disinfect much. Do you guys know Minxie, who was MFW's best buddy? Minxie had gone to Paradise House a few times. Minxie also got a bad infection from the hot tub at Paradise. And I remember her being on, I actually saw the live where she was on stream with Stefan saying, listen, it can happen to anyone, get an infection from a hot tub. And I think Minxie, but I don't think it was an STI. I think it was like a UTI.
Sir, and then I sent me a picture of my cat.
Okay.
So you can tell that on June 17th at 20:04, which is 8 p.m., she was at my house and she took this cat picture. So then she says, can you order us pizza, wings, and stuffed cheesy bread, please?
Potato. Yeah, you're a bit late, but we've just been shooting the shit. We haven't really been doing anything exciting, just kind of shooting the shit, talking about it. He is talking about CC. Remember that one incident where he said that he had messages about it? That's what this is. And she later, I think she was pregnant at the time of the essay. That one?
We'll pay you back. Can you turn on the bubbles in the hot tub? Meaning that she was in the hot tub. And there's more coming, right? And change the lights. So she's in the hot tub. She wants me to turn the bubbles on and change the lights. Now, there's no more message because from June 17th, now it jumps to June 18th at 18:21, right? So after can you change the lights, there's no more text message exchange because this happened. Hold on, I'm still in the video. You just skip a little bit forward to it because I'm explaining it in the video, right? The same thing I just explained to you guys. So
Right.
in that gap between June 17th and June 18th, this happens.
So yeah, I think he's explaining this to Fupa and Tech. I think Fupa's on via Zoom or whatever, paneling, and I think Tech is there. So Stefan is trying to explain himself, which I really don't give a fuck about because I don't believe a lot of what he says. And at the end of the documentary, I saw his true colors, how he really thinks about these girls, ladies, women, and how he really thinks about everything that went down. Like his mask slipped, and everyone can see it. But we'll keep listening.
Here's the actual thing. So I'm explaining that in the video. That's why my mouse pointer is jumping around. I just woke up and then she sent me this graphic. And she says, fucking twice a week is good for your health. Fucking gives proper relaxation. Fucking refreshes you. Fucking.
Right.
And I say, ha ha ha. And she says, I need some dick.
She was pregnant before the essay, and I believe she was pregnant by him before the essay because he doesn't deny paternity, if you know what I mean. Is what I got out of it, is what I understand. Like, I think that they were on and off not dating, but hooking up. But this particular incident, she did not consent to.
And I didn't get, and she's basically saying, oh, I was just tired, but I know you wanted more. And I'm like, no, And then she says, on June 18th at 21:21, she says, do me a favor. And I said, a flavor? What's up? Don't get hurt or used by anybody on TikTok. Just please be careful. I can tell some only like you because of what you have. She's getting jealous about me going viral on TikTok because June 18th is when I posted that video with my furniture that got millions of views. And that video is the reason why I know Audrey and my last girlfriend, Angel. That video went viral.
And he is so addicted to TikTok, making content, being a star, being famous, having everyone look at him in a good light. Does he sound like someone we know? but he's different. Okay, Fluff, you want to watch? You want to watch? Cover your ears. It's not for kitten ears, though. You got to cover your ears, okay? All right. My God, do I sound like S-Jam when I'm talking to my cats?
And no contact, and eventually she apologized and she went to the therapy, and I went with her, and at night I'm still very tired. Again, she's saying she's tired. And then she says, can you make sure that nobody touches the baby shower stuff? Or my Bacardi.
The spermicide was a different woman, I believe. Wasn't the spermicide not Pork Chop? The blonde one? Not Savvy. There was another blonde one.
That cute kitty. And I said, oh, kitty emoji. I honestly have no idea why I'm so tired. Can I come over this week? So.
But they were joking about putting the finished terminated pregnancy pills into a cup for her without her knowing. They were joking. I'm doing air quotes, joking about that, which is disgusting.
I was busy, okay? And I said, that won't work. Strike one. That won't work. I have people over already. There was people at my house. And she says, okay, and what does it have to do with me? They can enjoy the party too. And I said, it's somebody having her birthday party with family. I didn't want to mix the parties, right?
Right.
And then she says, Lord Jesus, never mind then. My Bacardi still better be there. Also, don't lie to me again.
So it was like the pill that you could take within the first trimester. I don't believe it was Plan B. Like, I think everyone knew that she was already pregnant. But I have to double check that it was a different person. Just my memory. I don't know if she was the kitty treat one. I thought it was a blonde girl saying that she got a anaphylaxis, like allergic reaction. Can you imagine getting an allergic reaction down there? God, like, that's horrible, because there's no way you can itch it. And if you get hives down there, but I thought it was a different girl. Yeah, they joked about putting it into a drink.
And I said, you keep saying I'm lying when a couple of times. I just never say anything. Maybe I'll just continue to let you lie to me. And I said, okay. At this point, I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to let it go. I'm just going to say, like, okay. A little bit, like, you can tell, like, it's sarcastic, whatever. Okay. And then she said, is that bash happening?
Hi, Blush. Welcome in. We're just kind of shooting the shit. There's a couple of people that watched the documentary but weren't able to discuss it, so we're just kind of shooting the shit with everybody that can join us. And then right now we're listening to Stefan talk to Local Bus, and Zio's covering it, and we're stream sniping Zio.
3 question marks, because if you didn't respond to her. What's going on?
I just wanted to point out that she is like telling you to walk over.
Hold on, I can't hear you.
Petnowski super chatted $19.99. Why talk about someone you don't care for? You talk about CC and the boys that you didn't want. Stand on what you said in the doc and stop taking about them. For my mental health week excuse to not be a dad.
No. They are making SA allegations here. I'm going to defend my ass against this fucking bullshit. And then, I know I did them.
He could have, I'll have to watch it again, but yeah. Yeah, like, I thought she was already, I don't know. Plan B wouldn't have worked because she was already pregnant, right? But to even joke about it, regardless of which pill it was, do you know what I mean? Is sick. And then, like, just the thought of that, like, people are warped. People are crazy. Okay, I'm going to try again.
It's them.
Yeah, I just got to say, Poopa Cheese, aren't you supposed to be there?
Shut up, you mama.
She was.
I had a family emergency.
That's diabolical. And fucking goddamn Tech Protect, ain't you supposed to have blonde hair or blonde tips?
No.
Bro, the scam is out of control with y'all on bus. And my man Stephen, why do you not?
Okay. I see what's up.
Look here.
Bunny, I super chatted $20. Just why is food not with Tech? Tech, why are you not closer to the front, WTH dude? You look like you're detergent.
Yeah.
He's in heaven right now. He's an eater.
But like you're
We need you a part of the show too, Tech.
Okay, and Stefan, what is up with that just for man, my boy? You trying to look 20 years younger now? Let that shit fucking grow.
So I watched Yo Mama. I think I was watching as we were covering Yo Mama or something. Anyways, Yo Mama is really disgusting as well. Like what he made us AI song about Fifiism, and it's just gross. And he dances to it, and he seems very creepy. Like I don't want to be in a room with Yo Mama by myself. That's what I mean. I don't want to be in a car with Yo Mama by myself. I don't want to be on the phone with Yo Mama by myself. He's creepy. He's watch out for Uncle Dan. Creepy.
Dog, like that Hugh Hefner Bible to these women and telling them that they body is the most beautiful thing in the world, and then you serving them fucking Kool-Aid, and then they get all out of control, and then they leave, and then they see how diabolical you truly are, bro. You just a wild and out of control man. You think you're the modern day Hugh Hefner, and Hugh Hefner was a pimp too. You was just a modern day pimp with just overweight women. Yeah, it's diabolical, sir. You need to stop putting your dick in almost everything. You need to stop preaching this Bible to insecure women that you are with.
And the other thing I thought, like, was Stefan at first, I thought, was he just a guy that has a fetish, that really likes big women, and was just giving adoration, and trying to help them out and have this house where he can have access to them all, where he could touch them whenever he wanted and have complete and utter access to them, which is creepy on itself. But then when his mask slipped, like everything made sense. Like all of this was a plan. All of this was like coercion. He was vrooming people. Like this is his master plan. And I don't think that he likes women. I think that he has a fetish with big, beautiful, like morbidly obese women. And I think that he thinks that women are so much beneath him. And I think that he thinks that women are just bitches and whores. And they're bitter. They're bitter when they get rejected from him. That's all air quotes, right? Like I think he's one of those guys with the biggest ego that put women down. And I think he likes morbidly obese women because like he can control them more. They can't run away from him. And he can get inside their head more, show a little adoration, and they'll do whatever he says, he thinks. Like, I think he knows that he can manipulate them more. I don't know. That's just what came into my head.
You do know that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna ask
This is some serious shit. Like, what the fuck is going on with people?
Hi, Big Murph.
Are him liking a 16-year-old, Foxy?
What?
Yeah, we got a screenshot of him talking to a 16-year-old and thought it was okay. Did you guys talk about that?
We have not gone to that yet.
You're a fucking pig! That's all there is to it, bitch! Fuck your movie and fuck you!
Tina's insane.
Oh, that's Tina D.
Sorry, guys.
We got some drama in the LCU tonight.
Yeah, but these like text messages, let's try to like move it along and not explain every single one. I think that's why people are coming in here, right? Because like the chat is getting restless by it taking so long.
I know. The problem is like it is the story. It is the context.
And you notice like a lot of the women, like they're very young, and I don't think they're very bright. Like not bright. I don't mean to say that. Like they're not. Yeah, honestly, I don't think their IQ is on the higher end of the bell curve. I think it's more on the lower end, which makes it easier for them to be coerced and manipulated. It's just a fact. I feel like some of them were running away from something like a bad life, and they thought that Stefan would be a better life and realized that he's not. Like, I felt that he took every opportunity that he could to manipulate those in a more vulnerable position. And then the women that were older, that were kind of like his Ghislaine Maxwell, allegedly conspiracy, educational video, YouTube, but they were like the older women, the mums of the house, more on an equal level with him. He knew he couldn't fuck them over. He knew he couldn't manipulate them as easy. They were worldly. They had created like their own BBW communities, like they were at the top of their BBW community type of thing. They had created their own bashes. You know what I mean? He knew he couldn't manipulate those women as much as the younger ones.
You know, they're completely innocent. Some asshole must have reported it. And then she says, maybe somebody's offended. Did you think of that? What pics were they? And I said, not possible. It was just a pics of a girl in a bikini. And then she says, are you sure? Because your TikTok wasn't offensive, doesn't mean somebody else, blah, blah, blah.
Guys, Raising Cane's or Chipotle, go.
I like my TikToks.
Raising Cane's or Chipotle or Chili's, go.
I said, oh, you don't have to like them. What's funny? I haven't had the time to see them yet. And then she says, Happy Father's Day. Are you still mad about last night? And then she sent me like a video. And then she says, hopefully this makes...
Wait. Why did she tell you Happy Father's Day there?
And the other thing that you have to think of here, make sure you're not in talk chat. So these young women who really probably didn't have a whole lot of friends in junior high and high school. We talked about that earlier. Girlfriends or guy friends, like attraction friends, or even just like platonic friends. They probably didn't have a community. They didn't have their own little group. Probably they were always felt like they were in the outsider. They come to Paradise, they meet some girls that are just like them, and they feel a community. They feel like they have friends. And Stefan took full advantage of that because those girls. So let's say Stefan was creepy or did awful thing like essay or whatever. Even if they did consent to it at some point, it doesn't matter because Stefan made them feel like they were part of a community with friends. And so when you feel creepy, they're like, am I the only one that feels creepy? Am I going to? And then they're like, am I going to have to leave my friends because of him? And are my friends going to be okay if I leave? Like, should I just stay here? At least I know that they'll be okay. And I'll try to protect them from the creeper. Do you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just him that they were leaving. They had to leave their friends as well, which is extremely difficult for young adults who probably never had a big community like that before, because the internet, like, they may have like their TikTok community or whatever, but that's not like their real friends in real life friends that they had at Paradise.
Because you know that I have. It's good. Now she says, I said, why are you always being so aggressive? And she says, am I? Wrong one. My nails got in the way. You always think I'm being aggressive when I'm not. You were the one that literally fucked me when I didn't want to. And I said, huh? What? And she says, oh, you don't remember? And she said, no. And I said, no, because I didn't remember her not wanting. Not a single time did she ever say no, because consent, as we all know, consent can be removed at any time. And anybody that actually knows me knows that if anybody ever said no, I would be like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm out. Like, I would never try to continue if somebody says no. And I said, and then she says, interesting. And then I said, when you are talking about, because that's what are you talking about? That's a pretty rough accusation. And she said, last week, Wednesday, in the hot tub. No.
Yes, triangulation. That's a great word for it, Pat. Thank you.
To say? And I said, no wonder it fell off. I was like, I was trying to put puzzle pieces together, and I was like, yeah, she was tired. She told me she was tired. And now she's telling me she didn't want it after the fact, after I told her she can't come over, I can't pick her up. So now now it goes. No wonder it fell off. Was it obvious? But I guess it's my fault. Like always, maybe I was asking for it, or was my pussy meowing? Still nothing to say. I'm waiting. I'm not mad. Like I said, it's my fault. It's whatever.
Guys, I made a poll.
I said, it's weird, but it's okay. What is weird? Wow. Like always.
I made a poll. It's up the top left right here.
Then comes a little bit of an intermission where I basically explained something. And now we get into it, okay. And she says, whatever, Stefan. I said, okay. At this point, I'm really like, just, okay, what? Own up to what you did, be a man for once. Oh, right, you can. I said, right. Some friend you are, just admit you hate me because you sure like to ignore me. And I said, this is too much. Too much what? Too much ranting and attacking me. And she says, attacking? Okay. You have a good night. You're an ass. And I said, I have one. She says, and you are one. And I said, thanks. And then she says, you're welcome. Why do you put up with your bullshit? Go tell your TikTok people what you did to me. Will they still like you then? Threat. Will your TikTok people still like you if you tell them what you did? Will they still like you? Exactly. Have a good night. And I said, you too. I'm still trying to, YouTube. Next morning, she said,
Sonic.
okay, but is your dick game that good? Like some sex TikTok. And then she says, happy birthday. And then she says, happy birthday. And I said, thanks. With a heart emoji. I'm still waiting for part of your gift. It's been delayed. And I said, oh, okay. At this point, I'm kind of like completely hands off. Like, she started making like some stuff up about like not wanting sex. So I'm very hands off at this point. And she says, what are you doing for your birthday? Can I come over? Never mind. I wanted to give you a CJ, a blowjob for your birthday, but that's not something you want. I said, oh, Cece, I'm happy.
Guys, 1 more minute left of the poll. Should I eat Chipotle, chili, Canes, or Taco Bell?
Zio, we're trying to listen to what Stefan is going on about, okay? I'm not really concerned right now with your Chipotle.
I have 15 Canes is winning.
Off the live to eat something.
Chili's is winning.
To help me pick up some balloons the day before the baby shower. And can I come swimming? And I said, I can. How many balloons do you need to get? About 40. Okay, that's enough.
Canes.
Blah, 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 blah. And I wasn't asking to fuck me or pick me up. I just wanted to go swimming. But it's cool. You finished working. Going live has really set me behind. And I said, it was super fun though.
Okay, how long till we're at the part that Fupa keeps insisting on saying?
Damn,
The chat is getting very upset.
I would be getting steak from Chili's.
Yeah, this is
So Stefan is trying to prove, that, she went on acting normal, still wanting to see him, have a birthday party for him, stuff like that, as proof that it never happened. It's not necessarily proof that it doesn't happen. So many women are abused or SA or something, and they keep going as if it didn't happen. Do you know what I mean? Like they just, because it's just like she was carrying his children. She didn't at the time probably have a lot of options. She wanted to keep the peace, and I can understand that. I can see that.
okay. Well, how about you realize he
The
has
poll's
this entire
over.
fucking video on his own website, right? So why don't we just
Chili's
support that you're
won.
so fucking insistent on showing, and then everybody else can go look at the rest of the fucking bullshit for themselves.
Full screen it. At some point she says, kiss my ass. And I say, 3 question mark. Kiss my ass. Did you block me? Question mark. Hello. You're fake. What the fuck did I do? Stefan. Yes, just ignore me. Fuck you. You're lame. That seeks attention from insecure little bitches.
1 moment.
Somebody's bitter. Bitter.
Okay, come in.
Everyone here is bitter than is yourself. You're an insecure little.
The poll wasn't with me. You have to go to Zio's to poll. What did you? Well, I don't know. Listen, I want to try those chili mozzarella sticks that you see on social media. So I would have told her to go to Chili's, but listen, I don't want her, like, it's like midnight. I don't want her to really have anything at midnight. But if it was like for a lunchtime thing, then Chili's mozzarella sticks would have been my poll because I've always wanted to try them. But I really don't think that she needs to have them at midnight. But it's not my life, right? She's a grown adult.
In a grown man's body now. But it's not blackmail. And I said, why the hate? And then she says, what hate? And I am like, what you are doing here?
I know, Liz.
It's not hate, blah, blah, blah. You're going to regret what you did to me. I can't stand you. I said, okay, then take a break from me. You don't have.
I know. I want to try those chili. Those so bad. Yes, it's like Gremlins where they're cute and fuzzy and floofy. until after midnight, and then you feed them, and then they turn into the scariest things I ever saw in my childhood.
Have to get this fucking rules. I said never. It is, you just don't want to own up to it. Own up to it, Stefan. I said, what are you talking about? That you raped me. I really cannot stand you at all. Now we're getting into it. I can't stand you. I'm skipping some. I'm just going to kill myself because of you. You're an ass. I said, okay, it's enough. It's not. Was it enough when you raped me? Was it enough when you degraded my body for your pleasure? The clothes that you took off yourself, right? You're really going too far right now. And I said, so Stefan, how exactly? Grow up. I haven't gone far enough either. Kiss my fat ass, Stefan. After the baby shower. It's not assuming. So I'm going to have a fucking baby shower for this bitch in my house. I'll get the and you'll never.
Well, the girl was having twins. She wanted a baby shower. Stefan, this really isn't proof. It really is not great proof.
$18.99. The text messages are irrelevant. He entertained a woman who was having mental health issues. Wrote off his own.
Always an excuse.
And you could take off your own clothes. You could walk around naked. And if you still say no, it means no. It doesn't matter if you're clothed or unclothed, if you took the clothes off yourself or not, or kept them on. It doesn't matter. You said no. You weren't interested.
Okay. Just admit that you hate me. The next day, I'm on my way. Get a fucking life. You're trash. Hey, you still.
I truly believe he's a woman hater, and I truly believe he likes big, morbidly obese women because he kind of can, like, secretly make fun of them. Make fun is not a great word, but he can secretly, like, he enjoys watching people suffer, I think, and he can revel in that. I don't know if that makes sense.
Letting me have my baby rapist. You deserve to be in jail. You're going to rot in hell. Everybody knows what you did to me. Why ignore me? Because you know I'm right. Rapist. And at some point she says you can block me all you want. Be a man and admit it. I hate you. I honestly do. Blah, blah.
This. He likes to humiliate women. So one of the girls mentioned that, he was rubbing her tummy and that she felt that it was sexual because to him, the tummy is a sexual organ. I think that it's more humiliation. I think wiggling and jiggling a bunch of jiggle-jaggle on the tummy is humiliating. And I think that he did it to humiliate her. But under the guise that he loves it. Do you know what I mean? I don't think so much that it was a sexual thing for him. I think it was a humiliation kink for him. Nobody really wants their tummy jiggle-jaggled. Except for Gut Boy.
Blah, blah, I hate you.
I can fucking show this because there's people in the chat that now think she is crazy. And I'm sorry, like, as much as I wanted to fucking stand with the women and I do believe some of the women. Like, I'm not taking, but this one in particular, once I saw the fucking messages, it all changed for me. Because I'm sorry, but if someone R-worded me, I wouldn't be blowing them up. I would go completely no contact. I would have filed a police report. I would not be still asking to see them. I would not tell them happy birthday, happy Father's Day. I would not be wanting to hold any type of party at their fucking house. I would not want them to come pick me up from work because I would not want to be in the same room with them. Like, I'm sorry, but it just doesn't. It doesn't look like an R word happened.
Fupa. You don't really know, do you? Like, you can't really speak for her. I don't know how terrifying it'd be to be having twins with no support financially. Do you know how expensive twins are to start up? Do you know how expensive twins are? Just basic, especially like formula and diapers. Like, we went through a can of formula, I think every 2 days, and like a box of diapers every 3 days, like 2 a week. Like, sometimes you just placate to survive. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't mean that nothing happened.
I would advocate it. Like, every single time when that woman doesn't get what she wants, she goes fucking apeshit on me. I've tried 5 or 6 times. Eventually, my mental health is worth something too.
So
I saw the clip of her threatening your kids again.
I want to say like my opinion on the matter is that what I see, just in my opinion, is somebody who is going through a mental health spiral because of something traumatic that they could have possibly been through. Okay? I'm not saying like, you fucking piece of shit, you fucking did this. I'm just giving my perspective on how I see the situation as somebody who has been through something similar. Okay?
Okay, so that means that my mental health, after all the abuse that I received from that woman, you still judge me for coming up with a fucking joke in private about the pills, right?
Yes, because.
And the other thing is, like, when it's a SA or R from a stranger, those are more reported. They're hardly reported. Thank you, Mariska Hargitay, for making it easier that these rape cases actually get tested. Anyways, when it's a stranger, they're more likely to be reported, if at all. When it's someone you know, like your boyfriend, husband, partner, on and off person, father of your children, you are less likely to report it. Why is that? Because you want to survive. You want to keep the peace. You're afraid because if you go and report it, that's your person, that's your partner, or on and off, or maybe baby's father. What happens if you report it? What happens? Nobody wants to talk about these things, but bad things can happen if you report it. Your kids may never see him. You may get custody taken away from him. Like they may fight back. Like, you know what I mean? Unless you had strong evidence that will prove them guilty. But when it's a kind of, you don't have the strong evidence, FUPA doesn't get that. So many is not reported. Domestic SA is not reported nearly enough because you can't just leave. Sometimes you can't just leave, and there's a lot more to it than just that. Sometimes you got to think about the kids, everything. Do you know what I mean? It's not the easiest thing to leave.
Sex and I felt uncomfortable afterwards. Okay, you can feel quirky. You can feel uncomfortable. I validate the girl feeling uncomfortable, or if, like, how sad she got touched and she didn't feel good afterwards, but it's like, it's the extent of it. And these girls acting like he did anything more than that. It's not the truth. Cece literally asked him multiple times beforehand to have sex, brought him in. Then he even said, "Are you okay? Like, are you feeling okay?" She still had sex, never said no to him. Then after, you're still in contact, sending him a sex message the next day and still talking to him. Like, none of it makes sense. And why wouldn't they say it on the documentary? Like, I'm talking mainly to you, Foxy. Like, you are so...
Yeah, you could lose your family. You can lose your friends if they side with the other person. Like, sometimes you can lose your job. It's a financial strain. And think of it. You are unsupported now, completely. 100% unsupported if you accuse them with, you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't think she had a test or anything like that, or has DNA or anything like that, or video or whatever. But because now everyone may side with the abuser, but you don't have anyone to support you going through all this. Like, there's a lot more to think about when you're reporting it. And that's all I'm saying to FUPA. It doesn't make it not happen. Do you know what I mean? Her not reporting it and her still trying to be friendly with him doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Girls, but it just doesn't make sense. If you think this is a slam dunk that it's irrefutable, why?
Have you ever had to run?
And there are people that get put away for murder all because of circumstantial evidence, because it does hold weight in a court of law. I'm just saying. Like, obviously, we can't go back in time and get into her head and think, oh, was this our word? But she literally could have told him at that minute, I'm not feeling it. I'm tired. I'm just not tonight, whatever. But she did it. She went on with it. And instead of confronting him the very next day, let's say she was tired, okay, she wanted to go to sleep, whatever. The very I would say, okay,
Speak to
this
the
is what
restaurant.
happened. What the fuck? Or I would already be at the police station. I wouldn't wait days later when someone wasn't giving me.
But Fupa, he's not a stranger. He's not a stranger to her. If it was a stranger, possibly, he's not a stranger to her. And she needed to be financially dependent on him because she was carrying his twins. She was in the house. He's with all her friends. Like, if she went down to the police station, she would have lost everything. I could just see where she's coming from. I'm not saying it was a good choice or a right choice or whatever. I don't care. There is no right or wrong. I can just see where she's coming from.
The attention that I
39 cents. If you're very
I
mature
work
for your
at
age.
Chipotle.
Those were your words about minors, Stefan. Also, get a vasectomy if you don't want kids.
Yeah, there was a screenshot shown that you said that. Actually, let me see if I can pull it up really quick. Do we still have it?
Foxy, did you watch the documentary yet? Like, did you watch it?
Yes, I'm the one who's fucking hosted the party.
Because I thought you heard earlier you said that you didn't. I heard that you didn't watch it. You didn't have time.
Definitely wasn't me. I think that was.
Yeah, that's why I saw
Ian.
it.
You wanted to rewatch.
Yeah.
She wanted to rewatch it.
Yes.
Like, it just doesn't fucking add up to me. Like, the whole fucking R word and then the way she acted afterwards, like, I'm sorry, I'm not buying it.
It's the thing is, it's every girl. It's not just Cece. Same thing with Pork Chop. Pork Chop asked and told all the girls, why is he not having sex with me? Does he not like these guys pretty? Why is he not having sex with me? Stefan, will you have sex with me? Stefan, will you have sex with me? Stefan has.
It doesn't matter. She could have asked 100 times. Trimmer in Canada, it's the same. You can just and it's a forensic nurse that will do it in the like emergency room. A specific forensic nurse who is highly trained, and they will keep it. And even if you don't report it, I think you have, I don't know how many years, quite a few years. And you don't even have to make a police report at that time. They'll just take the DNA. We'll just hold it until you've made a decision. That's it. No pressure, nothing like that. They will call you in a couple weeks, make sure everything, how you're doing, if you need anything, if you need counseling, if you need meds for anything. Like, they're really awesome in Canada now.
Sex with her. Even with all other girls, Savvy spins his butt. There's camera footage of him spinning her his butt. And all the girls butt. Why is she not going over the couch? Why is she not going to her feet butt? Why is she not
just
going
told
to
you, yeah.
spinning her butt? And he does it one time or whatever through the weekend. And she's the bad guy? None of it makes sense. They really opened your eyes and saw it all. Like, I'm a woman sitting here. I'm going to stand by him because I've seen it. I'm not standing by him because he doesn't owe me shit. He doesn't pay my bills. I pay mine and my mom's bill. I got my shit going on. He does not owe me anything. So me standing next to him and anything does nothing but bad for me, by the people who don't like him. So I stand by him because it's the right thing to do. I see the proof. I see the things that are happening, and I see the pattern. And the pattern is this man has something that people want. They don't get the top position. They go off and they start acting a certain way. And that is just what it is.
Who is this person talking, saying that if the girls don't have top position, they go off? Wow. Listen, I wasn't in the house. I know very little. I watched the documentary, but I can see things. I can tell by just the way he is. It's not a top girl thing. Wow. And Stefan is loving this. Am I muted? Am I fucking muted? No. He's like, he probably thinks they're all fighting over him. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Makes me angry. It is, Cassie, I'm sorry.
You're muted. It's easy to literally take.
I know it gets fucked up a lot. And I only hope that we can that we, as a society, we have to put more money into testing these DNA kits. We have to put the women first instead of the man in these situations. Like, it used to be worse. It's getting better, but I don't think it's anywhere near what can be achieved. And a lot of people are trying, and like Mariska Hargitay made it like in 50 states or 51 states about backlogged cases, and I love it. But I think they need more specialist teams to work with the victims, not just Joe Blow, detective man, Joe who only works on the weekends. You know what I mean? Like a specialist team.
Fucking accountability. Go fuck yourself.
Oh shit. Oh
Yeah.
shit.
We're keeping this civil, please.
Yeah, okay, girl.
What? You're lying.
Like, you're not giving what you think you're giving. Like, you're just defending like bullshit.
Guess
What the
what?
fuck you saying?
If that's who I think it is, let me double check.
Open mind. I wanted to hear both sides, and when I was presented with both sides on this specific situation with CC, my mind changed.
Oh,
because I saw things
what?
and I was like, actually, I'm changing my mind on this situation.
Yes, we're gonna get some more tacos
But there
soon.
are other instances.
And like in my province, like in my city and town, if a girl comes up, or even a man, like a male, a victim, like immediately they're taken to a private room. No matter if we have 12-hour waits, it doesn't matter. They're taken to a private room somewhere, and it's very private. Only their specific nurse knows and their doctor knows, and then we can call the specialist team if we can get a hold of them. If not, there's a few trained individuals in our on our unit that can do it. But yeah, they've come a long way.
Look, from what I've heard about the pork chop story, it seems also like out of the ass. From the messages that we're seeing, from the day after she was having a great fucking time, asking for more sex, it seems also like a CC story. Then who else is there? Rosie? Rosie Jazz was the fucking main point in the fucking documentary? She wasn't ever here! She's not associated! And then who else are we talking about? Porky? Kimmy? What's her name? Kimmy? She doesn't have an accusation. She doesn't have one. Yeah, there's no accusation from her. Just that, there's all these other women.
Clarify this thing really quick. Like, here, first have an eyewitness. Let her speak. For when I can't produce evidence, an eyewitness is worth gold in court. Why not here?
Talk to us. K-Bug. What?
Well, shit, I'm a dick. I thought my StreamYards ran out June 9th, and today's the 10th, so I didn't think it had it. I just noticed I had my banner on. I did not mean for that to be on. I feel like a dick now. So I took it off. I honestly didn't even think about it. I thought it wouldn't be working. That's bad on me.
Was holy shit. What accusation are we believing, Foxy or Fupa? Who is it that we're like, I believe her? Name the name. There is no name to believe. There is no credible accusation that proved any evidence. As much as we're out here trying to say, like, I believe women and all this.
I only made this stream like 5 minutes before I went live, so sometimes they don't give me they don't send out notifications if it's really short in turn. Do you know what I mean? Like really short time coming up, maybe. But I'm glad you guys made it. Found us finally.
Hey, we want arguing the same thing that's being fucking argued online over and over again when there's no proof. Like, there's no undeniable proof on either side. So this is just basically a fucking roundabout argument that we're having. Something that I do want to ask you about is something that I just got sent, Stefan, is did you ever wish SA on anybody?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I took accountability for it, and I apologized, and I said, like, that's something that's fucked up, and I regret saying that.
Ultra Z1M Super Shattered $19.99. Fubu, I think it's disgusting you want to blame someone of horrendous things despite the evidence saying otherwise. In that case, do you believe a woman can change her mind about whether sex was consensual at any point after?
What am I blaming someone?
Oh, Nikki is going live in 5. I might just stream for like another 5, 10, 15. Just because it's getting later here. Is LCU donating any of their super chats and stuff tonight to anything? I don't have anything linked because I wasn't prepared at all. Maybe in the comments I'll link something if you guys like a place to get help and stuff, like maybe the one that the documentary used. I just find it gross that I don't know. I got a bad taste in my mouth.
Horrendous things. Actually, I was way too fucked up. There's no way. I believe that it changed her mind after the fact when she felt like Stefan was pulling away from her. Then she wanted to get one over on him and decided to say that he was an R-word. Like, that's what I think happened.
Yeah. I agree.
You can have regret. Do you think you can regret having a sexual encounter with someone, but regret is not
But she's not saying regret. Like, she's saying that she didn't consent to it. Regret and not consenting to something are completely different. Like, Fupa, I don't think Fupa has the right take on this at all.
Same thing as
there's evidence of like, okay, it looks like.
And again, she probably couldn't report it. Like, she knew that it was wrong, but it's not always easy to report. And SA and R is so underreported, like significantly underreported. Like, I can almost bet that 99% of the people that follow me or in my chat have had an incident, at least one incident, and never reported it. And I would say about 10%, 15% reported it. If that. 15 out of 100? Nah, 10%. That's just my opinion, though.
Working out.
Going to look really stupid. The whole scam exposed in the beginning. I thought I needed to explain. Not needed anymore when the whole evidence drops. But yeah, wishing 2 people to PSA and saying they just.
And if not experiencing themselves, either had a close friend, a relative that was close, like a sister or brother or parent or whatever, like they know somebody that it has happened to. Like, it is astronomical. We need to be better as a society.
Me saying I'm a disgusting rapist, I should be deported and off, and I should lose my children, and like,
I
you know,
know,
all kind of shit.
Christy.
Eventually you reach a point where you think, hold on.
Team member.
I touched somebody's butt.
Team member.
Okay? I apologize to that person
Team
for touching
member.
their butt. And somebody still takes that whole thing, blows it up into SA, goes on and on and on, exaggerates shit to the point that random strangers attack me like that.
So the other day I was sitting out on my porch, and I live like near an open space with like a park, and there were some teenage boys, probably middle school or grade 10. And I think they were looking at corn, and they were talking really, really badly about women and women's bits and bobs. And it was just disgusting. And then I went inside and I had a conversation with my sons about how to respect a woman, even if they're taking pictures or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I had heard my kids talk like that, I would have been so disappointed. And I'm a single mom, so I don't know how to react in those situations, because maybe it's normal. Maybe that's normal for teenage brains. I don't know. I felt really icky, and I felt sad. I felt really sad. Yeah, like I just hope they get it. Like I just hope they get it that we're equals, we're all equals, and we need to respect each other, regardless of what job we do.
The internet, and I asked. Shay called her out for it, but sadly Shay is not here anymore to speak for herself. So there's only a video that's left of Shay saying, "Oh, Piggy, weren't you the one that publicly wished SA on me when I moved to Paradise? They attacked her family and harassed her family for coming to my house and wishing SA on her publicly."
Can you tell us exactly? Do you have like a screenshot video of what exactly was said, or is?
I have a screen. No, I have a video of Shay saying.
You have a video of Kimmy saying that.
Shay.
Okay,
And Shay's profile's now been, his profile's been taken
I
down.
don't have access to Shay's files, no. So we have to take her word as the person affected. We don't believe women, right? Believe the right women. She said it on record.
But you're somebody who like keeps meticulous screenshots and evidence. Why wouldn't you have?
I was telling my boys about consent. Like we were just having little conversations, like while we're in the car, you know what I mean? But I was talking about how my one boyfriend I had, and I had him for like 10 years. The best thing he ever did, and the one thing I remember the most about him is like the day we met, we were at a pub after watching a football game. So we were all a little drinky poo, and it was hot summer night, and we were just like on the patio, lots of people there. And he asked me if he could kiss me. Now, this is back in 1995. So that never happened. They never asked ever. But he asked me, "Can I kiss you?" And I thought that was the most gentleman thing I'd ever heard in my entire life. And so I told my boys that story.
This already somewhere.
Corroborate.
Lost the vibe. She's probably fucking trying to refresh her shit. It's probably frozen. But
Yeah, and then who was the girl? It was episode 2 of the
That's a good
documentary
idea.
who said like, "Oh, you know, Stefan slapped my ass." Well, who's that lady?
Savvy?
yeah,
Savvy, yeah, Savvy. That's another person.
That's a good idea, Charlotte. And I think it's important to also look not just cultural differences of gender, but also times of gender, like the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, and how gender roles have changed in society, and how like the women and men like women didn't even have the vote. They couldn't get their own credit card. Do you know what I mean? That type of stuff. I think all that's important to talk about too. That things like that actually happen, still happen these days.
Meowser with the 10 said, okay, but what about the underage people? Or how about talking about the claims that do have legitimacy instead of looping on this particular case? Exactly what I'm trying to do.
Give us one claim that has legitimacy, Foxy.
Okay, so Stefan.
Like I think that my boys they're pretty good with like gender stereotypes don't really exist in this household. Like I fix wash machines. I have leadership roles. I did construction. I put together all the furniture in the house. I cook, I clean. They cook, they clean. They help me with, like, there really isn't any gender stereotypes in this house. Do you know what I mean? They wash the toilets, I wash the toilets. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's important too.
How old are you now? 17. It's scratched out. Yes, I'm real, and I'm 17.
Yeah. Why are we going over the same thing again? We did that already on Buzz, and I'm actually kind of pissed that right there did not get, like, I talked about this thing for 20 minutes in my interviews. They completely skipped it. They brought up the fact that I had supposedly talked to somebody underage, but they completely skipped my whole response to it.
Okay, so well, hang on. I still have one more screenshot of the conversation that does need to be shown for context.
Okay.
So
Do you actually have the? Do you have the entire thing, or do you only have
Yes,
the snippets?
I have the entire thing. Okay, so it says, yes, I'm real and I'm 17, but I wouldn't feel comfortable just showing my license, name, and birth. Oh, you can cover everything up. Doesn't need to see any private information. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. Don't want to make you uncomfortable with that. Yeah.
I don't know why they keep going over this because this is not important. The 17-year-old said, yeah, I'm 17. I'll come back when I'm 18. And Stefan said, yeah. Like, yes, they had a conversation. Yes, they were 17 and he was much older, but they were talking about the Discord and joining it, I believe. So, and they didn't join it at 17. Like, they waited till they were 18.
And then some banned me once after doing that, or this is you saying that. Sorry, you have to deal with haters.
Nice.
I don't. And then the girl says, I don't know why they hate. They're just jealous. I'm pretty and they aren't. And you say, oh, girl, you are cute. Don't ever let shit like this dim your light. Stay confident and awesome. Also, just out of total curiosity, haha, may I also be so nosy and ask how tall are you and how big? Hope that question doesn't offend you. I'm 6'1", about 205. Your other vid showed up on my FYP, this one, where you're showing your hips, heart emoji. And then you're asking where she's at and that you're in Vegas.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that was a little gross. Listen, Stefan, don't talk to people underage. Don't talk about their hips. Stuff like that. Weird.
What was that conversation? It is before
2020.
Right. Because we've been over this so many times already. There was a time, once upon a time, there was a time when the Discord was open to people 16 and over, and the NSFW section was strictly 18 plus, of course, with ID verification. Actually, the ID verification was for everybody. So make sure that everybody is real.
Oh my God, love connection. We're going to set people up if he has a brother. I love it.
So then she got banned, and then she posted more, and I was basically just telling her like, hey, don't let the haters dim your light. And since we are talking about like before January 1st of 2020, we're talking about robbing a basement that I haven't lived in 6 years, because I took that chat as a way.
Okay, but don't call me a pimp, okay? Because if somebody like finds out that I'm like talking about love connections, I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. I'm just kidding. That was supposed to be sarcasm. I was going to say a name, but then I decided not to at the very end. Okay.
You're not getting to the point of why you're asking a 17-year-old girl what her weight is when you're very much publicly have said that that's like the first thing you ask somebody.
And this is another generational thing. Like, I'm Gen X. And I know, like, in girl world drama, we should call it like grandma or something. No, that's wrong. I don't know. Grandma. I can't even do it. But there's a lot of things like, oh, they were talking with a 17-year-old, oh, this. And I know that 17 is minor, and it just blows my mind because at 17, I had my own apartment. I was going to university. I had my own job. That was nights. Like, I worked night shift. Like, had a car, like, did everything. Like, I was living completely on my own since I was 17 and a half. Less than 17 and a half. I was just a few months after 17. Like, it's just, and I was hanging out with, like, 24, 25-year-olds because I was at university. Like, could you imagine if they said, don't talk to a 17-year-old? I'd be friendless because I was very young in university.
It's about there
was new to me in the documentary. You may be able to correct me on it. Who was it that said?
Wait. Are we skipping through this? Because
no, we're not.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, in my head, because I was thinking of like crime and drama. Crama is what they call it, and I'm like, oh, girl world, that would be great. The grandma. Like, in my head, it sounded really good, but when it came out of my mouth, I'm like, wow, that does not sound good.
Who was the?
Okay, but we're not gonna go into that because it's gonna take away from the subject that we're already talking about. Of like,
it still leads into the fact that he liked this narrative that he likes younger women.
Okay, but that
cut off.
Okay, right, but that has nothing to do with the fact that he.
Like, I don't think the girls that are in Girl World that just do drama, like they do a lot of drama, I don't think they'd appreciate being called grandmas. Like, we got to find something better. Llamas? No. Famas? I don't know. I was thinking fatty and drama, fatty drama. Because there's certain aspects of Girl World where they just cover the drama between all the reactors and stuff, or the drama, not necessarily between the girls, but like the side characters. Mostly drama between the reactors. But I don't think they'd like grandmas.
Like hot red
line or something. Me personally, I can see that as being a little over the line, right? As much as I've seen all the evidence and everything else, this one is a little wild. This one's a little bit crazy when you're saying, "Oh, you're so cute," you know. Oh, that video with where you're showing your hips, that one feels like something you should address.
Yes.
Why would you?
Oh, fuck off. Like, I don't care. Like, I know it's bad, but I don't care. I don't care that he said, show the picture with your hips to a 17-year-old. I don't care, because personally, I was dancing at 17 and not like ballet or tap. Like, we did it under the table at a kind of bar did they used to call it? Not a titty bar. A bikini bar is what it used to be called. At 17, I was doing that. Yes, I had fake ID, but yes, I was doing that. I care more about the bigger stuff that we saw, like in the documentary. I don't care about this. I don't care about this.
About the appearances.
Before the very first allegation ever came out, I made my decision to figure out for myself. Oops,
yes,
I went a step too far there. I let her mislead her. I let her mislead me with her suggested content, and you missing parts of the chat where she says that she likes older guys and she likes that she has a daddy fetish and all that kind of stuff. You missed all that stuff, that's
Oh Jesus! Well, now Stefan totally ruined it, because once he says he has a daddy fetish and all this stuff, then now it's creepy and gross and yucky. Like, all what he had to say is, I don't know. I don't know why I said that. You know what I mean? But now that he's talking about how it has a daddy complex, now I have to take back what I said, right? He always does this. I try to not defend him, but I try to explain shit away, and then he becomes creepier, and then I like.
All this context missing.
I feel like it's something you learned before you hit 19, 2020. Yeah. I think you were already 40, right? This is something that someone would probably have a grasp on. Now, if you're saying like, oh, the communication was just because I was trying to be body positive, and this is a young person who is, ashamed of the way she.
Listen, if I had a daughter, she wouldn't be doing the shit I did at 17, right? So I don't agree with it at all. Like, if I had a daughter, there's no fucking way she'd be working at a bikini bar, or, I don't know, even living on their own. Like, so what? Just me saying that at 17 I was doing this shit doesn't mean that I approve of other 17-year-olds doing it.
Entire Discord and your behavior, like, I never made any plans to meet with that girl. I complimented her.
How old were you, Stefan, when this exchange
was? 2020.
46. Yeah, so for me, at that age, I feel like you should already know that that's a huge no-no.
And I did.
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying it's right.
And listen, like, the older people I talk to, like the 24-year-olds or 22-year-olds, God, my boyfriend was 5 years older than me, weren't creeps. Like, they weren't creepy like this. They were normal. They were good people. They were good people. They weren't creepy and gross and yucky. They didn't give me the ick. Stefan gives me the ick, and he probably gave that 17-year-old the ick too. Like, it's fucking gross. It's fucking
like, if a 23.
Because that was after she was 18.
You said there was missing conversation.
Yeah, like, there is missing conversation.
Was that?
We actually had a boyfriend, but that was like, now we're talking like a year later. She was 18. She was in the Discord.
Yeah, I have my feeling that my boys are going to mature later in life. Like they're not going to be like leaving the house at 17. Do you know what I mean? Like I think everyone matures differently, but he's just creepy. He's just creepy.
I'm trying to find like the
Talk to you guys.
It's almost over, right? It's almost 11. What,
Yeah.
how long is this
We
for?
have 5 minutes left.
We have 5 minutes left. So, yeah, if you do have those screenshots, that would be a good time to produce them.
Yeah, about what now? Like, still that whole thing with the 17-year-old?
Yeah, the missing
Yeah.
conversation that you say, like, helps your case.
Oh, it's a video. Hold on. It's a screen recording.
I don't know if we're gonna find it in the next 5 minutes, but it does sound like we have to have more conversation tomorrow about this. As you know, Local Bus Chat, Koopa's not here. I am, and I'll be here for another 3 days. So we have more of this content.
Exactly, Pat, and it's scary. It's frightening because there are some good out there. There are some good men out there, and there are some not. And at that age, you're young to figure out the difference. Like you think everyone is good, and they're not. And it takes you a while to figure out and discern and see the red flags.
I know. So thank you for the support for everyone that's become a member, to join the Discord, to have these conversations after the documentary airing.
What a blessing. Yeah.
I'm stuck here.
Yeah, it's going to be something we have to continue tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what do you mean? There's no way you guys send me out to Vegas for 3 days and we're not gonna do this tomorrow.
I'm talking about this specific situation.
We won't be discussing this for as long as, at least until Tech goes home, because what else are we going to talk about when you're in Vegas?
Right.
So I also want to thank everyone that joined us for the watch event. I don't want to call it a watch party because it's not a party. It was a watch event. We had over 100 people in there with us tonight. So thank you guys for that. And thank you guys for all the support. This is obviously a huge story that we've been covering. We do plan on doing more coverage on stories like this that are a little bit more serious, a little bit more heavy hitting, because I think it's new and refreshing to the LCU.
Yeah, I think it's brought an entirely new crowd here.
Ugh, I'm sorry, Curious Cat. I kind of, so I think LCU buses, I kind of want to know what Zio got. I'm sorry that there's dickheads in the world. Like, I really am.
Did I ever think? And for people to form their own opinions about it, right? I have my opinion. Koopa has her opinion. Tech has his opinion. Okay? And that's okay. We're all allowed to have the opinions that we have, and so are you in the chat. Just thank you for being here to have this discussion with us.
Are we still we're doing the pool party tonight, right? We're doing a pool party. Everyone's gonna get in the pool.
It is it's 2 a.m.
Like, everyone can have an opinion. You know what? But when you have an uninformed opinion, that's where the problem lies. When you have an opinion based on like bigotry and stereotypes and like non-experience, that's when I have a problem. If your opinion is based on either your experience or knowledge of whatever, a formed opinion, but just a random opinion with nothing backing it, I don't like.
Guys, I know my limits. I'll log off when I need
And in
to.
the pool, and you know where to find us after the show.
Yeah. But thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming here, enjoying the show. We are going to pick up on this conversation first thing tomorrow and really get down to it. Whatever these like missing screenshots they are, hopefully we're able to produce them. Okay. Thank you. Just want to say thank you again. I guess Tech's gonna be doing fucking TikToks and jumping in the pool, cannonballing, fucking taking his clothes off.
So weird. Oh, so Tech is gonna be taking his clothes off, so now we're going to like sexually objectify Tech. It's so weird to have this conversation after this whole stream they just did. It feels inappropriate. Do you know what I mean? Do you guys feel that as well?
Last time I got Chipotle, I got the honey Chipotle, and I don't want to do that again. I didn't like it.
Exactly.
I like the Apple Store chicken, but not the honey Chipotle.
1%.
So they're not gonna do a members only live, and that was it.
Hi, baby Geico. We're
Okay.
almost done, but I'm glad you showed up. How you feeling, baby Geico? I wonder if Zio's food's coming. I'm just gonna see if she's gonna talk about anything. If not, I'll pop off because it's my bedtime. Somebody asked, so are the twins with Stefan? I don't think they are.
My Chipotle order, and then
Of course he will be.
I'm gonna go to the restroom, and I'm gonna.
I don't even see in the comments what she got. I can't believe I even care.
Probably refresh. I'm still thinking because I want to rewatch the documentary,
Oh,
but I don't know if I want to do that alone.
oh, baby
Oh,
Geico.
much.
Aw, feel
I
better.
didn't curl my hair
Eat
today.
this.
Marcos. Well, how does
I'm
it
just
feel?
waiting for my food to get here. I think it's good now.
Guys, everyone send baby Geico good thoughts, healing prayers, healing vibes, healing light. Just give her our support.
Guys, we have dial up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the documentary has said, Dazzy.
Do the slow pull.
I think you need T-Mobile.
But wait, what do you have?
Yeah.
Walmart internet. Nicole. How boring.
Thank you.
I hope you're doing okay, Nicole. Hi, Nicole. Long time no see.
LaFay, are you on Discord? Like, could I find you through Discord somehow?
He would say about like Cass, which is why when all that was going on, like trying to get her out of the house, because they didn't really go into a lot of detail about that, like with that situation on the back end, how quick it was to try to get her out of the house.
Well, you tried to get her out before somebody else came.
Gorkia, that's not to me, right? I'm not expecting. Baby Geico's expecting. Okay, what did she get here? What is this, Chipotle? What kind of bag is this, you guys?
That would be safest for you to just come stay with me, and you know, because like
Okay, I'll find you.
I'm not saying any names or anything because like those are for whatever other people that want to talk about that, they can talk about it, but like there were other people involved with like other situations that were going on too that they didn't even talk about that Cass was having to deal with him. Like there was a lot more going on, and I kind of hate that like some people didn't really go into a lot of detail about like some of the shit she had to deal with, because not only was it just the, you know.
So there was so much more to this situation. Like I wish this was like a 6-parter so we could hear more of the situation. I'm just nosy. It's not any of my business, but I would like to know like the whole story.
What was going on?
There's people on the request. I don't know if they want to come up to ask questions.
And didn't like each other.
I don't know for sure. That might have been said or just not put in the documentary, but she's
What
obviously
she
very
did say
open.
is that when I got on the doc, she said something about
Yes.
the differences between him is why they had to end their friendship or something.
Sarcastic, she was. I'm not sure if she currently is still, but she definitely was. I don't think that she's ever said that she's an ex Fifi. So I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question 100%, but I know that she was.
If it's a lot. I'm gonna leave it for a bit and sit on it. I'm really lost joy.
Oh, that's all right.
She'll probably come back. It was probably an accident. But yeah, I see.
All right. I don't know what's going on. You think she got chilies? I wonder if she got the matzo sticks. If I go to the States, I'm going to get that. She just has somebody else up on TikTok. I'm not sure. Yeah, her and Rosie still eat on camera. They're absolutely still part of it in some sense. Maybe not like the typical sense, but adjacent. They're definitely Fifi adjacent. I'm going to go to bed because it's like 12:30 here and I got to get up in like 6 hours, 5 hours, 5.5 hours. So, but yes, the struggle, the medical equipment struggle, that stuff. Yeah. Zio listened to herself. Possible. Very possible. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me. I hope we got to discuss a little bit of it. And I appreciate you coming in on short notice. Hit the like on your way out, or Rosie's going to sit on the can and cry some more. But, oh, I think they do too, LaFay. I'll friend you shortly, LaFay. Everyone have a great night. Have a great sleep or beautiful day if it's morning where you're at, afternoon. And Nikki is live if anyone wants to go and watch another panel. And yes, thank you all for coming in. That was a nice conversation. And we'll talk soon. Bye. Let me just remove her. There we go. Good night, everybody. Bye. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. And I got all 3 floofs sleeping on my pillows right now. So we're gonna probably go sleep on the couch. Good night. Bye.